Welcome back to Explain America. This is your host, Kyle Becker. New York Attorney General Letitia James surely believes that she's off the hook following another grand jury declining to indict her, this time in New York. And this follows along the lines of a Virginia grand jury actually indicting her, but the case was dismissed by a judge because, well, they didn't like the prosecutor, some other such nonsense. I mean, she was nailed dead to rights. But this time she's engaged in a crime, and it's time that the Trump administration start looking seriously along the lines of federal charges for yet another massive scandal that is rocking New York. But before we get into the story, please like, share, and comment at Explain America. Join us. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Now, a bombshell new report says that the state of New York has reportedly released nearly 7,000 illegal aliens from jail, including 29 individuals who were linked to homicide cases in defiance of ICE detainer requests. Now, per the Department of Homeland Security, nearly 7,000 illegals were released. Like we said, 29 homicides among them, 2,500 assaults, nearly 200 burglaries, 300 robberies, 400 drug offenses, 300 weapon offenses, and despicably enough, 200 sexual predatory offenses. Now, Republican New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney told Fox's Kayleigh McEnany, who's the former White House press secretary, about this despicable new development. She is right. Letitia James doesn't care. She has been proven to be above the law by these grand juries. Now, we recently reported that the DOJ is working on bringing fresh charges against James, but that's obviously going to take some time. And in the meantime, she's going to continue to flaunt the law. And there is a strong argument to be made in the court of law with due process that she is aiding and abetting criminal activities. She's harboring illegal aliens. She's defying federal law. This is a complete affront to the Supremacy Clause, where we've been told for years the federal government is in charge of immigration. But now that we have someone in charge of the federal government who is interested in enforcing illegal immigration laws by deporting foreigners, the Democrats suddenly think it's a state and local issue. I think it's complete nonsense. I believe that this is a serious threat to our country and the integrity of our constitutional republic. And it's time to really start considering criminal charges for those who refuse to enforce the law. It is not legal, it is not ethical, it is not okay. And of course, as we saw with Letitia James' actions, she is putting American citizens in harm's way with violent criminals in order to stay in power. That's what it's all about. The Democratic Party wants as many illegal aliens in the U.S. as possible, not only for potential amnesty and for, well, apparently cooking the books when it comes to elections. Of course, we're talking about ballot harvesting and other operations that have been documented and on the books. You can look up the crimes. I mean, Texas, where they're serious about it, they busted a number of these operations. And that apparently is what it's all about for the likes of Letitia James. Now, she's all but announced that she weaponized her office. She engaged in political prosecutions. She engaged in election interference. I mean, she should have a giant rap sheet that is as long as the U.S. Constitution at this point. I mean, it's just, the irony is beyond belief. And it's time to hold some of these so-called lawmakers who are actually lawbreakers accountable for their actions. And we would love to see that, of course, with due process in a court of law. But we're all dying for accountability. Something should happen to her, what just happened to Bob Menendez in New Jersey. She's been banned from office because of just verifiable wrongdoing that she's done while in office. But weighing with your own opinion, we always appreciate hearing from you at Explain America.